Hello, friends. Happy Friday. Nearly there. The fifth and final act of Titus Andronicus. Trigger warning. Lots more racist abuse heaped on the villain Aaron. Aaron, who in yesterday's act took charge of the child that he'd had with the Empress Tamara and fled to the Goths hoping for sanctuary. Also with Rome's enemy, the Goths, is Titus Andronicus' banished son Lucius, hoping to form a rebel alliance to attack Rome and avenge his family. Titus Andronicus himself, meanwhile, appears to have completely lost his mind, seeking out the actual personifications of justice and revenge from heaven and hell by shooting arrows into the sky. The Empress Tamara is absolutely loving this, loving driving Titus to madness and death. However, the paranoid Empress Saturnine, her husband, thinks it's all just a great big put-on. Saturnine is also terrified of Lucius, so has asked for peace talks, which will take place at Titus's house. And I think that brings you all up to date, and we can now continue with the fifth act of Titus Andronicus. We've made it, guys. Enjoy. Ta-da! Act 5, Scene 1. Flourish. Enter Lucius with an army of Goths, with drummers and soldiers. Lucius. Approve it, warriors, and my faithful friends. I have received letters from great Rome, which signifies what hate they bear their emperor, and how desirous of our sight they are. Therefore, great lords, be as your titles witness, imperious and impatient of your wrongs. And wherein Rome hath done you any scathe, let him make treble satisfaction. A Goth. Brave slip sprung from the great Andronicus, whose name was once our terror, now our comfort, whose high exploits and honourable deeds ingrateful Rome requites with foul contempt, be bold in us. We'll follow where thou leadst, like stinging bees in hottest summer's day, led by their master to the flowered fields, and be avenged on cursed Tamara. Goths. And as he saith, so say we all with him. I humbly thank him, and I thank you all. But who comes here, led by a lusty Goth? Enter a Goth, leading of Aaron with his child in his arms. Goth. Renowned Lucius, from our troops I strayed, to gaze upon a ruinous monastery. And as I earnestly did fix mine eye upon the wasted building, suddenly I heard a child cry underneath a wall. I made unto the noise, when soon I heard the crying babe controlled with this discourse. Peace, tawny slave, half me and half thy dam. Did not thy hue bewray whose brat thou art, had nature lent thee but thy mother's look, villain, thou mightst have been an emperor. But where the bull and cow are both milk white, they never do beget a coal-black calf. Peace, villain, peace, even thus he rates the babe. For I must bear thee to a trusty Goth, who, when he knows thou art the empress's babe, will hold thee dearly for thy mother's sake. With this, my weapon drawn, I rushed upon him, surprised him suddenly, and brought him hither, to use as you think needful of the man. O worthy Goth, this is the incarnate devil that robbed Andronicus of his good hand. This is the pearl that pleased your empress eye, and here's the base fruit of her burning lust. Say, wall-eyed slave, whither wouldst thou convey the growing image of thy fiend-like face? Why dost not speak? What, deaf? What, not a word? A halter, soldiers! Hang him on this tree, and by his side his fruit of bastardy! Touch not a boy! He is of royal blood, too like the sire for ever being good. First hang the child, that he may see it sprawl, a sight to vex the father's soul withal. Get me a ladder. Lucius, save the child, and bear it for me to the empress, if thou do this. I'll show thee wondrous things, a highly may advantage thee to hear. If thou wilt not, befall what may befall. I'll speak no more, but vengeance rot you all. Well, say on, and if it please me which thou speakst, thy child shall live, and I will see it nourished. And if it please thee, well, surely, Lucius, 'twill vex thy soul to hear what I shall speak. For I must talk of murders, rapes, and massacres, acts of black night, abominable deeds, complots of mischief, treason, villainies ruthful to hear yet piteously performed, and this shall all be buried in my death, unless thou swear to me my child shall live. Tell on thy mind. I say thy child shall live. Swear that he shall, and then I will begin. Who should I swear by? Thou believest no God? That granted, how canst thou believe an oath? Well, what if I do not? As indeed I do not. Yet for I know thou art religious, and hast a thing within thee called conscience, with 20 popish tricks and ceremonies, which I have seen thee careful to observe. Therefore I urge thy oath, For that I know an idiot holds his bauble for a god, and keeps the oath which by that god he swears, to that I'll urge him. Therefore thou shalt vow by that same God, what God soe'er it be that thou adorest and hast in reverence, to save my boy, to nurse and bring him up, or else I will discover naught to thee. For even by my God, I swear to thee I will. First know thou, I begot him on the empress. O most insatiate and luxurious woman, Lucius, this was but a deed of charity to that which thou shalt hear of me anon. 'Twas her 2 sons that murdered Bassianus. They cut thy sister's tongue, and ravished her, and cut her hands, and trimmed her, as thou sawest. Oh, detestable villain! What's all that trimming? Oh, she was washed and cut and trimmed. It was trim sport for them which had the doing of it. Oh, barbarous, beastly villains were like thyself. Yeah, indeed, I was their tutor to instruct them. That coddling spirit had they from their mother, as sure a card as ever won the set. That bloody mind, I think they learned of me, as true a dog as ever fought at head. Well, let my deeds be witness of my worth. I trained thy brethren to that guileful hole where the dead corpse of Bassianus lay. I wrote the letter that thy father found, and hid the gold within that letter mentioned, confederate with the queen and her 2 sons. What not done that thou hast cause to rue, wherein I had no stroke of mischief in it. I played the cheater for thy father's hand, and when I had it, drew myself apart and almost broke my heart with extreme laughter. I pried me through a crevice of a wall when for his hand he had his 2 sons' heads, beheld his tears, and laughed so heartily that both mine eyes were rainy like to his. And when I told the Empress of this sport, she swooned almost at my pleasing tale, and for my tidings gave me 20 kisses. What canst thou say all this and never blush? I, like a black dog, as the saying is. Art thou not sorry for these heinous deeds? I have not done 1,000 more. Even now I curse the day, and yet I think you come within the compass of my curse, wherein I did not some notorious ill, as kill a man, or else devise his death, ravish a maid, or plot the way to do it, accuse some innocent, and forswear myself, set deadly enmity between 2 friends, make poor men's cattle break their necks, set fire on barns and haystacks in the night, and bid the owners quench them with their tears. Oft have I digged up dead men from their graves, and set them upright at their dear friend's door, even when their sorrows almost was forgot, and on their skins, as on the bark of trees, have with my knife carved in Roman letters. Let not your sorrow die, though I am dead. Oh, but I have done but I have done 1,000 dreadful things as willingly as one would kill a fly. And nothing grieves me heartily indeed, but that I cannot do 10,000 more. Bring down the devil, for he must not die so sweet a death as hanging presently. Goths, bring Aaron down the ladder. Oh, if there be devils, would I were a devil, to live and burn in everlasting fire, so I might have your company in hell, but to torment you with my bitter tongue. Sir, stop his mouth, and let him speak no more. Goths gag Aaron. Enter Emilius. My lord, there is a messenger from Rome desires to be admitted to your presence. Let him come near. Welcome, Emilius. What's the news from Rome? Lord Lucius, and you princes of the Goths, the Roman emperor greets you all by me, and for he understands you are in arms, he craves a parley at your father's house, willing you to demand your hostages, and they shall be immediately delivered. What says our general? Emilius, let the emperor give his pledges unto my father and my uncle Marcus, and we will come. Away! Flourish. Exeunt. Marching. Scene 2. Enter Tamara and Chiron and Demetrius, her 2 sons, disguised. Thus, in this strange and sad habiliment, I will encounter with Andronicus and say, I am Revenge, sent from below to join with him and right his heinous wrongs. Knock at his study, where they say he keeps to ruminate strange plots of dire revenge. Tell him Revenge is come to join with him and work confusion on his enemies. They knock, and Titus aloft opens his study door. Who doth molest my contemplation? Is it your trick to make me ope the door, that so my sad decrees may fly away and all my study be to no effect? Or you are deceived, for what I mean to do, see here, in bloody lines I have set down, and what is written shall be executed. Titus, I am come to talk with thee. No, not a word. How can I grace my talk, wanting a hand to give it action? Thou hast the odds of me, therefore no more. If thou didst know me, thou wouldst talk with me. I'm not mad. I know thee well enough. Witness this wretched stump. Witness these crimson lines. Witness these trenches made by grief and care. Witness the tiring day and heavy night. Witness all sorrow, that I know thee well for our proud empress, mighty Tamara. Is not thy coming for my other hand? No, thou sad man. I am not Tamara. She is thy enemy, and I thy friend. I am Revenge, sent from the infernal kingdom to ease the gnawing vulture of thy mind by working wreakful vengeance on thy foes. Come down and welcome me to this world's light. Confer with me of murder and of death. There's not a hollow cave or lurking place, no vast obscurity or misty vale, where bloody murder or detested rape can couch for fear, but I will find them out, and in their ears tell them my dreadful name, Revenge, which makes the foul offender quake. Art thou Revenge? And art thou sent to me to be a torment to mine enemies? I am. Therefore come down and welcome me. Do me some service ere I come to thee. Lo, by thy side, where rape and murder stands, now give some assurance that thou art Revenge. Stab them, or tear them on thy chariot wheels, and then I'll come and be thy waggoner, and well along with thee about the globe provide 2 proper palfreys, black as jet, to hail thy revengeful waggon swift away, and find out murderers in their guilty caves. And when thy car is loaden with their heads, I will dismount and by thy waggon wheel trot like a servile footman all day long, even from Hyperion's rising in the east until this very downfall in the sea. And day by day I'll do this heavy task. So thou destroy rapine and murder there. These are my ministers, and come with me. Are they thy ministers? What are they called? Rape and murder. Therefore called so, because they take vengeance of such kind of men. Good Lord, how like the Emperor's sons they are. Oh, I knew the Empress. But we worldly men have miserable, mad, mistaking eyes. O sweet Revenge, now do I come to thee, and if one arm's embracement will content thee, I will embrace thee in it by and by. Exit aloft. This closing with him fits his lunacy. Whate'er I forge to feed his brain-sick humours, do you uphold and maintain in your speeches, for now he firmly takes me for Revenge, and being credulous in this mad thought, I'll make him send for Lucius his son, and whilst I at a banquet hold him sure, I'll find some cunning practice out of hand to scatter and disperse the giddy Goths, or, at the least, make them his enemies. See, here he comes, and I must ply my theme. Enter Titus below. Oh, long have I been forlorn, and all for thee. Oh, welcome, dread fury, to my woeful house. Rapine and murder, you are welcome too. How like the Empress and her sons you are. Well, you are fitted, had you but a Moor, could not all hell afford you such a devil? Well, I wot the Empress never wags, but in her company there is a Moor, and would you represent our Queen aright, it were convenient you had such a devil. But, welcome, as you are. What shall we do? What wouldst thou have us do, Andronicus?
Show me a murderer, and I'll deal with him.
Show me a villain that hath done a rape, and I am sent to be revenged on him.
Show me 1,000 that have done thee wrong, and I'll be revenged on them all. To Demetrius, look round the wicked streets of Rome, and when thou find'st a man that's like thyself, good murder, stab him. He's a murderer. To Chiron, go thou with him, and when it is thy hap to find another that is like to thee, good rapine, stab him. He's a ravisher. To Tamara, go thou with them, and in the emperor's court there is a queen attended by a Moor. Well shalt thou know her by thine own proportion, for up and down doth she resemble thee. I pray thee, do on them some violent death. They have been violent to me and mine. Well hast thou lessoned us. This shall we do. But would it please thee, good Andronicus, to send for Lucius, thy thrice valiant son, who leads towards Rome a band of warlike Goths, and bid him come and banquet at thy house. When he is here, even at thy solemn feast, I will bring in the empress and her sons, the emperor himself, and all thy foes, and at thy mercy shall thou stoop and kneel, and on them shalt thou ease thy angry heart. What says Andronicus to this device? Marcus, my brother, 'tis sad Titus calls. Enter Marcus. Go, gentle Marcus, to thy nephew Lucius. Thou shalt inquire him out among the Goths. Bid him repair to me, and bring with him some of the chiefest princes of the Goths. Bid him encamp his soldiers where they are. Tell him the emperor and the empress to feast at my house, and he shall feast with them. This do for my love, and so let him, as he regards his aged father's life. This will I do, and soon return again. Exit. Now will I hence about thy business, and take my ministers along with me. Nay, let rape and murder stay with me, or else I'll call my brother back again and cleave to no revenge but Lucius. What say you, boys? Will you abide with him whilst I go tell my lord the emperor how I have governed our determined jest? Yield to his humour, smooth and speak him fair, and tarry with him till I turn again.
I knew them all. They suppose me mad, and will all reach them in their own devices, a pair of cursed hellhounds and their dam.
Madam, depart at leisure. Leave us here. Farewell, Andronicus. Revenge now goes to lay a complot to betray thy foes. I know thou dost, and sweet revenge. Farewell. Exit Tamara.
Tell us, old man, how shall we be employed?
I have work enough for you to do. Publius, come hither! Caius and Valentine! Enter Publius, Caius, and Valentine. What is your will? Know you these two? The emperor's sons, I take them. Chiron, Demetrius. Fie, Publius, fie! Thou art too much deceived. The one is murder, and rape is the other's name, and therefore bind them, gentle Publius. Caius and Valentine, lay hands on them. Oft have you heard me wish for such an hour, and now I find it. Therefore bind them sure, and stop their mouths if they begin to cry. Exit. Villains, forbear, we are the empress's sons, and therefore do we what we are commanded. Publius, Caius, and Valentine, bind and gag Chiron and Demetrius. Stop, close their mouths, let them not speak a word. Is he sure bound? Look that you bind them fast. Enter Titus Andronicus with a knife, and Lavinia with a basin. Come, come, Lavinia, look. Thy foes are bound. Shush, stop them out. Let them not speak to me, but let them hear what fearful words I utter. O villains, Chiron and Demetrius, here stands a spring whom you have stained with mud, this goodly summer with your winter mixed. You killed her husband, and for that vile fault 2 of her brothers were condemned to death, my hand cut off, and made a merry jest, both her sweet hands, her tongue, and that more dear than hands or tongue, her spotless chastity in human traitors you constrained and forced. What would you say if I should let you speak? Villains, for shame, you could not beg for grace. Hark, wretches, how I mean to martyr you. This one hand yet is left to cut your throats, whilst that Lavinia, between her stumps doth hold the basin that receives your guilty blood.
You know your mother means to feast with me, and calls herself Revenge and thinks me mad. Hark, villains. I will grind your bones to dust, and with your blood and it I'll make a paste, and of the paste a coffin will I rear, and make 2 pasties of your shameful heads. And bid that strumpet your unhallowed dam like to the earth swallow her own increase. This is the feast that I have bid her to, and this the banquet she shall surfeit on. For worse than Philomel, you used my daughter, and worse than Progne, I will be revenged. And now, prepare your throats. Lavinia, come, receive the blood, and when they are dead, let me go grind their bones to powder small, and with this hateful liquor temper it, and in that paste let their vile heads be baked. Come, be everyone officious to make this banquet, which I wish may prove more stern and bloody than the centaur's feast. He cuts their throats. So, now bring them in, for I'll play the cook, and see them ready against their mother come.
Excellent. Carrying the bodies. Scene 3. Enter Lucius, Marcus, and the Goths with Aaron prisoner and an attendant with his child. Uncle Marcus, since 'tis my father's mind that I repair to Rome, I am content, and ours with thine befall what fortune will. Good uncle, take you in this barbarous Moor, this ravenous tiger, this accursed devil. Let him receive no sustenance. Fetter him till he be brought into the Empress's face for testimony of her foul proceedings. And see the ambush of our friends be strong. I fear the Emperor means no good of us. Some devil whisper curses in my ear and prompt me that my tongue may utter forth the venomous malice of my swelling heart. Away, inhuman dog, unhallowed slave. Says, help our uncle to convey him in. Exeunt Goths with Aaron and his child. Flourish. The trumpet show, the Emperor is at hand. Enter Saturninus, the Emperor, and Tamara, the Empress, with Emilius, tribune, senators, and others. What? Hath the firmament more sons than one? What boots it thee to call thyself a son, Marcus? Rome's emperor and nephew break the pile. These quarrels must be quietly debated. The feast is ready, which the careful Titus hath ordained to an honourable end, for peace, for love, for league, and good to Rome. Please you, therefore, draw nigh, and take your places. Marcus, we will. Who, boys? A table brought in. They sit. Enter Titus, like a cook, placing the dishes, and Lavinia, with a veil over her face, young Lucius, and others. Welcome, my gracious lord. Welcome, dread queen. Welcome, ye warlike Goths. Welcome, Lucius, and welcome all. Although the cheer be poor, 'twill fill your stomachs. Pray you, eat of it. Why art thou thus attired, Andronicus? Because I would be sure to have all well to entertain your highness and your empress. Well, we are beholden to you, good Andronicus. And if your highness knew my heart, you were... My lord the Emperor, resolve me this. Was it well done of rash Virginius to slay his daughter with his own right hand, because she was in force stained and deflowered? It was, Andronicus. Your reason, mighty lord? Because the girl should not survive her shame, and by her presence still renew his sorrows. A reason mighty, strong, effectual. A pattern, precedent, and lively warrant for me, most wretched, to perform the like. Yo, die, Lavinia, and thy shame with thee, and with thy shame thy father's sorrow die. He kills her. What hast thou done, unnatural and unkind? Killed her, for whom my tears have made me blind. I am as woeful as Virginius was, and have 1,000 times more cause than he to do this outrage, and it now is done. What? Was she ravished? Well, tell me, who did the deed? Will please you eat, will please your highness feed. Why hast thou slain thine only daughter thus?
Not I! 'Twas Chiron and Demetrius, they ravished her, and cut away her tongue, and 'twas they that did her all this wrong.
Well, go, fetch them hither to us presently. Why, there they are, both baked in this pie, whereof their mother daintily hath fed, eating the flesh that she herself hath bred. 'Tis true. Witness my knife's sharp point. He stabs the empress. Die, frantic wretch, for this accursed deed. He kills Titus. Lucius. Can the son's eye behold his father bleed? There's meed for meed, death for a deadly deed. He kills Saturninus. Confusion follows. Enter Goths. Lucius and Marcus and others go aloft. Marcus. You sad-faced men, people and sons of Rome, like uproars severed as a flight of fowl scattered by winds and high tempestuous gusts. Oh, let me teach you how to knit again this scattered corn into one mutual sheaf, these broken limbs again into one body, O Roman lord. Let Rome herself be bane unto herself, and she whom mighty kingdoms curtsy to, like a forlorn and desperate castaway, do shameful execution on herself. But if my frosty signs and chaps of age, grave witnesses of true experience, cannot induce you to attend my words. To Lucius, speak, Rome's dear friend, as erst our ancestor, when with his solemn tongue he did discourse to lovesick Dido, sad attending ear, the story of that baleful burning night, when subtle Greeks surprised King Priam's Troy. Tell us what Sinon hath bewitched our ears, or who hath brought the fatal engine in that gives our Troy, our Rome, the civil wound. My heart is not compact of flint nor steel, nor can I utter all our bitter grief, but floods of tears will drown my oratory and break my utterance even in the time when it should move ye to attend me most and force ye to commiseration. Here's Rome's young captain. Let him tell the tale while I'll stand by and weep to hear him speak. Lucius. Then, gracious auditory, be it known to you that Chiron and the damned Demetrius were they that murdered our emperor's brother, and they it were that ravished our sister. For their fell faults our brothers were beheaded, our father's tears despised and basely cozened of that true hand that fought Rome's quarrel out and sent her enemies unto the grave. Lastly, myself, unkindly banished, the gates shut on me, and turned weeping out to beg relief among Rome's enemies, who drowned their enmity in my true tears and oped their arms to embrace me as a friend. I am the turned forth, be it known to you, that have preserved her welfare in my blood, and from her bosom took the enemy's point, sheathing the steel in my adventurous body. Alas, you know, I am no vaunter, I. My scars can witness, dumb although they are, that my report is just and full of truth. But soft, methinks, I do digress too much, citing my worthless praise. Oh, pardon me. For when no friends are by, men praise themselves. Marcus. Now is my turn to speak. Behold, a child of this was Tamora delivered, the issue of an irreligious Moor, chief architect and plotter of these woes. The villain is alive in Titus' house, and as he is to witness, this is true. Now, judge what cause had Titus to revenge these wrongs unspeakable, past patience, or more than any living man could bear. Now have you heard the truth? What say you, Romans? Have we done aught amiss? Show us wherein, and from the place where you behold us pleading, the poor remainder of Andronici will hand in hand all headlong hurl ourselves, and on the ragged stones beat forth our souls, and make a mutual closure of our house. Speak, Romans, speak. And if you say we shall, lo, hand in hand, Lucius and I will fall. Emilius. Come, come, the reverend man of Rome, and bring our emperor gently in thy hand. Lucius, our emperor, for well I know the common voice do cry, it shall be so. Romans. Lucius, all hail, Rome's royal emperor. Marcus to attendants. Go into old Titus' sorrowful house, and hither hail that misbelieving Moor, to be adjudged some direful slaughtering death as punishment for his most wicked life. Exeunt some. Lucius, Marcus, and the others come down. Romans. Lucius, all hail, Rome's gracious governor. Thanks, gentle Romans. May I govern so to heal Rome's harms and wipe away her woe. But gentle people, give me aim a while, for nature puts me to a heavy task. Stand all aloof. But uncle, draw you near, to shed obsequious tears upon this trunk, kissing Titus. Oh, take this warm kiss on thy pale cold lips, these sorrowful drops upon thy blood-stained face, the last true duties of thy noble son. Marcus, kissing Titus. Tear for tear, and loving kiss for kiss, thy brother Marcus tenders on thy lips. Oh, were there some of these that I should pay, countless and infinite, yet would I pay them. Lucius, to young Lucius. Come hither, boy, come and learn of us to melt in showers. Thy grandsire loved thee well, many a time he danced thee on his knee, sang thee asleep, his loving breast thy pillow. Many a story hath he told to thee, bid thee bear his pretty tales in mind, and talk of them when he was dead and gone. How many thousand times have these poor lips, when they were living, warmed themselves on thine? Oh, now, sweet boy, give them their latest kiss, bid him farewell. Commit him to the grave, do them that kindness, and take leave of them. Young Lucius, kissing Titus.
Grandsire, even with all my heart would I were dead, so you did live again. O Lord, I cannot speak to him for weeping. My tears will choke me if I open my mouth.
And to some with Aaron. You sad Andronici have done with woes. Give sentence on this execrable wretch that hath been breeder of these dire events. Lucius. Set him breast deep in earth and famish him. There let him stand and rave and cry for food. If anyone relieves or pities him for the offence, he dies. This is our doom. Some stay to see him fastened in the earth.
Oh, why should wrath be mute and fury dumb? I'm no baby I, that with base prayers I should repent the evils I have done. 10,000 worse than ever yet I did would I perform if I might have my will.
If one good deed in all my life I did,
I do repent it from my very soul.
Lucius. Some loving friends convey the emperor hence, and give him burial in his father's grave. My father and Lavinia shall forthwith be closed in our household's monument. As for that ravenous tiger, Tamara, no funeral rites nor man in mourning weed, no mournful bell shall ring her burial, but throw her forth to beasts and birds to prey. Her life was beastly and devoid of pity, and being dead, let birds on her take pity. Exeunt with the bodies. And that, dear friends, was Titus Andronicus. Next week, change of plan. I'm not going to launch into a 4-week season of Shakespeare's early histories, because I'm going to take a break, because I think that makes sense. I'm going to take a break after next week, though. Next week, I'm going to do the play I thought I might start with, Julius Caesar. We're jumping ahead in the chronology, but I've already gone a bit out of chronological sequence, and it's set in Rome as well, so it might be a nice counterpart, but a little bit quieter. So yes, there will be Act 1 of Julius Caesar. Once I've done it, there is Act 4 of Titus Andronicus. Thank you so much for watching. Tips, comments, all very, very welcome. Have a great weekend. I hope you're all doing tremendously. Goodbye.